Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, April 16. It's 9:40. Sorry for the late start here. I just had to fix a few things in my workspace. Sorry, I had to fix a few things in my workspace. Actually, I'm still working on fixing them. But I said, I gotta start this stream here. Let's see if I can post this in the Discord. I hope you're doing everybody's doing all right. So right now we're looking at this market, and before we dive in, I'm gonna go over the disclaimer real quick. This is for educational purposes only. This is not a recommendation to buy or sell any futures contract. This is just educational purposes only. Trading is risky. Make sure you understand what you're doing before you engage into trading. With that said, we're going to go and look at the markets right now. Typically, lately, we've been looking at LE, which is live cattle that we have here on the bottom right now to make it bigger. So it looks like we're breaking out to the upside here. So LE today would be a long trade for me, even though we are approaching that fair value gap. So, being rejected here is a possibility. So I would want to see what's happening here. Now, ES looks like last night we went higher, but we got rejected here. We didn't close above the fair value gap. That was caused by that gap. They basically filled the gap. That's what happened here. They filled the gap, and now it looks like they want to bring it lower. So what we do, because of the volatility, we're gonna probably look at MYM today, the micros, and we're gonna do the same thing with ES. We're gonna look at some micro ES here. Okay, so these are the three things we're gonna be looking at. Now let's look at NQ. NQ is definitely one of those very, very volatile markets. Same patterns here. We're looking at probably going lower here, but also those big wicks here tells me the sellers really don't want this market to go higher. In ES, we kind of almost closed the gap. This we didn't. So we just started 14 minutes into this, but the market has been going higher. So there's a possibility also we see a higher move here. But ultimately, it looks like this market wants to go lower. With that said, also we look at YM. Why not? Let's look at YM on the big picture. Probably going to really look the same. So YM already look like it wants to point lower compared to ES and NQ. So the YM looks like it's a weaker market here. So we're going to wait and give this market some time to digest the open. But right now, LE looks like we have missed the train here. Again, we would want to see a pullback here to trade LE. So do it, LE here. Need to post this in the Discord. So again, it looks like this market is turning to the downside here. We're looking at the 3 minute in the top right of ES. Again, we're seeing mainly the internals are red over here. On MYM, what we're seeing here, this market hitting a pivot here. Is it gonna bounce? It's anybody's guess at this time, but definitely if we break this here, we're below the VWAP. So this market looks like prime to go lower here. Because of the pivot, we're not gonna get engaged. We're not gonna look at so let's move. So looking at this is LE here on the bottom left. Obviously here we have bullish market on LE. And live cattle. So we're gonna look at to take a long position, but it's really we just gotta wait. Now look at the YM here. LYM is going lower. LE is pushing higher. MES here. Just a little bit lighter here. Maybe slight gray. Now we're bouncing higher here a little bit. That's why those pivots here, you gotta be careful. You have to be careful here. Now we can go back to the VWAP on MYM and then go lower. Right now, yes, it's not clear. Now that could be a place down here at 36. 36 would be the entry on MYM here. Let's say 35. See if we can get MYM here to go. It just happened. So we're definitely going to try to trade small today, much smaller than usually do, and especially on the indices. The indices we're going to have to, we'll be trading. Good morning, Noah. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so right now the indices, we're gonna be trading micros because the volatility is just too crazy, you know. Let's just look at this here ticks because we're trading. Let me see. This is about 17 ticks above that. So we're looking for 60 ticks on the first target now and 120 on the second. So we got to 55 ticks. So honestly, I'm ready to drop this to about to break even. Almost 34 is break even here. Yeah. We're at break even. If we get there, we get there. If we don't, thing with this kind of market, it's the fact that we can easily get taken out at break even and then comes back your way, which is fine. You know, we're just doing what the plan is. If we get 5 ticks between our within our target and we can't get fail, we can't get the target, that's fine. You know, we just need another push down here to give us that 60 ticks. There you go. 7. Eventually, I think we're gonna get it here. There you go. We get that first target. And then now we just wait for the next one. Now, the low of the day is coming up. It's 40,184. So now in the meantime, we're keeping an eye on LE here. LE hasn't pulled back enough. We need LE to pull back somewhere kind of halfway before we engage here. So one way to deal with the volatility, I've seen all over the place people say, yeah, people, especially trading pop firms like pop firm accounts, they say, oh yeah, I'm doing this account, and because if you if you're trading the same way that you trade before April 2nd, even before April 2nd, but let's just call April 2nd as a line in the sand. April 2nd, when they announced the tariffs, everything really went berserk as far as volatility. So if you're trading that same way, you're definitely gonna experience a lot of stop outs. You're gonna get whipsawed a lot. You gotta adjust your size also, because you're gonna be adjusting your stops, so your size should be adjusted as well. So for example, YM, when I'm trading YM before volatility got so crazy, 20, 30 ticks was enough. Now I had to basically double or even triple it. Because it went a minimum of 60 ticks on YM. And if you're trading NQ should be at least 100 ticks at this point. At the very least 100, 150. Because for every tick that the YM moves, NQ probably move about 2.5, 3 ticks. So you gotta definitely adjust for the volatility. So that's why today we're trading YM, which move the same way as the YM on the Dow. So it's really important to adjust for volatility. Now we're looking at LE here. If it comes back to the VWAP at 207, we'll think about going long here if we see a bounce here. So let's see what we see on now. In the meantime, we're looking at YM here. And also, trading macro is going to be very profitable, especially if you do it with multiple accounts, like I'm doing. If you have multiple accounts being copied, you can definitely make decent amount with just micros. So there's no shame in trading micros. I know minis, people are trading minis because they're like, that's what they always traded, but you have to adjust. If you used to trade 3 minis, now in the indices, you gotta trade maybe 1, or maybe they come to 5 micros. You have to cut down your size. You give yourself more room for error, because this market, if you don't pinpoint your target, your entry, you're gonna have a lot of whipsaw, So right now we're seeing a pullback on YM, which may take a second contract at break even, which I hope doesn't happen, because we were above this little swing here. We're kind of high behind this little swing, but it may come back and attack this little swing. So there's a little swing right here that was formed by this one up candle. So hopefully we survive this. He doesn't go back and take us out, but if he does, that's fine. We already have our first target. Hopefully we get to that second one. Keeping an eye on LE over here. All right, so looks like second contract will be taken out at break even here, or maybe not. We got 300 should be Those round numbers used to be like support and resistance, or the market react to them. Because of the volatility, they just blow past them. That's what's happening right now, because I'm 34 points above 300. But at the moment here, I would definitely prefer to see live cattle here on the top left getting to that VWAP 270. Looks like we're turning around here to the downside for YM. We might get a new low. But as long as we, if we can get that target right before the low, I think we'll be fine. My target is about 27 ticks before the low. So we're turning around here to the downside. Let's see. Hopefully we can take out this little swing here at 35, and we just need to go about 22 more ticks. Things are turning around here to the downside. Even when you look at top right, which is the ES, I think it looks like we're pushing lower here. Yeah, the advanced decline is pushing lower. That's another tool that I use to look at, okay, what general sense of what the market is doing. The advanced decline is very, very important. So it's pushing lower. So there's a chance that we're going to be pushing lower here too, in the market overall as a whole here. So we're hitting this level again, almost like rejecting it. Now we're breaking it. We're definitely breaking it now. There you go. We got taken out. We got taken out here, right at the pivot. Look at it bounce. But may push lower here, but we'll see. We got a target. We got 180 ticks. If you combine the two per contract, on one contract, if you were trading one contract, it would be equal to 180 ticks. So that's not too bad. Again, macros, you can definitely trade macros successful in this market because you get to give the market more room. Let's look at ES here, 30 minutes. It's hitting a support level, so I would definitely be careful. Look at NQ. NQ's it's basically at a support level here too, even though, it's not a fair value gap, but NQ is at a support level because when you look at this area, this is an area of support, and this is what NQ is. Good morning, Jimmy. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I mean, the LE, what happened here when LE, the market opened and just started to go. As a matter of fact, I had some issues with my workspace, but LE gave us enough chance to get long because the market opened at 9:30, kind of went down, and this is the long signal here. This was the long signal. So LE did give us enough chance. I just wasn't looking at it because I was fighting with getting my ninja to work correctly. So it just had a little later start than I wanted. So it gives you a good 66 ticks here, 70 plus ticks after the entry. So definitely, I usually go for about 41 ticks for my target. So definitely there was plenty here, but we're not gonna chase it. If it comes back to the VWAP, we'll address it then. So look at how, again, this is not gonna happen every day, but look at how the target got hit straight to the tick here. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make the text so we can see. I'm gonna make the text black so we can see it. So we can see the text better here. So look at how the target got hit almost to the tick. My target was 14. The low of this candle was 11. It's not gonna happen like that every time, but trading with a target sometimes, there's always two schools of thought when it comes to targets. Some people don't trade with a target, they just trail their stop. As long as the market is giving them, they're taking, they're locking in. But also trading with a target can help you quite a bit because that's a difference between, if I was just trailing my stop buy by bar by now, so basically that's a 46 tick difference. And instead of catching 120, I would capture about 85. No, not 85, 75, 74. So it is important that we sometimes have targets, especially in this market. We have a hit right at the pivot. So we're getting lower highs and lower lows here. So market to me is still bearish, but at any moment we can get a lift. We can get a lift in this market. So it just turned 10 o'clock. That's another thing. You know, we got 10 o'clock. People are making their profits from this move, so they're using the 10 o'clock hour to do so. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we bring it all the way back to VWAP, which is at 416 right now on YM. So I wouldn't be surprised. So look at, yes, yeah, they're bouncing higher here. And Q, same thing, is bouncing higher. It looks like we're not going to see the VWAP bounce here on LE. Preferably, really, I'd like to see the LE come back to the VWAP here and then move higher. I remember on LE we did say if we look at this LE on the 30-minute, it's a big fair value gap here. It's a big one. You know, so still bullish on LE, but I'd definitely be careful here. Again, that's why we can't be buying it up here. It's too high. We gotta let it come a little lower, about 270. Now we're seeing a push higher here on the indices. Push higher on the indices here. Let's see if we can see a VWAP here. A VWAP bounce on LE. LE is coming down a little bit here. So let's see what we get. Like 87.5 on LE here could be support because that was resistance. It's just blown by it. You know, it's about really that move happened about 10, 15, less than 15 minutes. That big move up. The thing in trading, in hindsight, you can see what you could have done. But honestly, when I'm looking at this was a clear move higher. Remember, this was support yesterday. This kept being support. You know, this kept being support yesterday. So when we open here, we kind of, for the first 7 minutes, we kind of gone into that little pullback here. Then this was a confirmation signal at 205. But really, my entry would have been maybe right above. Looking at this here, this is the entry at 99.92 half, and that was a nice signal to go along here. Now, let's see if we can get to the pullback on LE. You know, the last couple of days trading LE has been a little frustrating. Yesterday we had a break-even day, and Monday we had a couple losses. Mondays are tough to trade because this market is trying to find its footing, trying to realize, okay, which way do I want to go? So let's see what happens here. Looks like we're pushing lower here again on the indices. Just based on looking at the 3-minute here, we're hitting that fair value gap, which is a 9-minute fair value gap. So that means that zone has been created in the 9-minute chart, but it's projected on the 3-minute here. Now, again, we're below VWAP. We may try to go to the VWAP here in that 75 on ES and then go lower. Looks like we got a comment here. No, I don't think Civ is here, Jimmy. It's only you. I think it's you and Noah that's here. Way more people will join, but definitely look like we're ranging here on ES. I'm looking at the 15-minute range chart on the other screen. We're ranging between 65 and 58. So we may be breaking to the downside here. So I feel more comfortable if we go to the VWAP and turn around on the MYM to take another short here. I don't believe this short. I'm not gonna go with this short here. I'd like it to go to the VWAP, you know, and give me the U-turn from there. But we may get the U-turn here too. I'm just not comfortable doing that right now. Okay, I don't know. On my side, it says 2. Yeah, I'm not comfortable shorting here. We're gonna wait to see if we can go to the VWAP instead here. Yeah, because right now ES is kind of pushing higher. I'm sure NQ is doing the same thing. Another way to look at LE also, because we had such a big move up and so quickly. Could this be just an inducement for people to go higher and then they're gonna bring it lower? That could be a possibility. But yesterday was definitely a choppy day. We got long down here, I remember, and we got stopped at break even. So now we're pushing lower here. MES is definitely pushing lower here. 30. MYM is pushing lower here too. 5350. Yeah, 5350 on ES. I think could be support here. Yeah, we got a support zone. What? Because this green zone here was a fair value gap that from the 9-minute that's still valid. But again, momentum is to the downside. I definitely wouldn't want to be trying to go long here. That's definitely trying to predict what the market is going to be doing. I think odds. I think LE here wants to go higher. Well, it doesn't want to come to the VWAP any moment here. They could make see a breakdown here to the downside. And if they break this, they're probably gonna try to break it violently. So I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. I might have 510 or 1020. Yeah, this setting pushing lower here on ES. Same thing on MYM. Again, I wasn't comfortable doing. Let me fix my setting here on ES. Yeah, because of the volatility, I needed to adjust my the break sizes. Also, my indicator setting. Again, just trying to. Yes, definitely went in here. Market open at 9:30. 9:35 went higher. You look at here, there's a trend line that was broken here. Trend line got broken. And then that's all short here. After this is a pretty nice entry at 9:44. Again, those time I wasn't really looking at the market. I think I got on at 9:40. So I wasn't really looking at ES. So we got two nice entries here. Even this one could have been all right if you're scalping. But this entry and this one are really nice. It looks like if you went long 50 here, definitely if you're scalping, you're at least at break even. And you hit your first target. Yeah, I could bouncing here. Now, how long that's going to last? On LE, we got a new high. Honestly, today, LE might be something we don't touch. I'm looking at MYM here. A little bit of bounce at MYM too. So, but could be short-lived. Definitely could be short-lived on ES. Nice trade, Jimmy. Nice little scalp here. Yes. Got a 49.50. Got a 53. So, nice. Yeah, I got on a 940, which is like maybe a good 20 minutes after I wanted to get on. I had to kind of patch my, rearrange my workspace. I just gotta make it upstairs a little sooner so I can start the stream on the time that I really want, which is usually I want to start around 9:15. To give, yeah. Thing with trading, you can't know at the time how much you're gonna be living in the table. You know what? This is my auto thing that's doing this. And it looks like we're pushing higher here. But again, I'm not trusting this. We're in between two fair value gaps, and this is a larger one. And we're getting all this market internal saying, hey, we're going. Yeah, going back to leaving a lot on the table. In trading, you don't know exactly how much you're going to leave on the table until it happens. So this market could move 2 points or 20 points. And whatever you get, if it was your plan to trade the way you trade, that's all you can control. And I know you know that, Jimmy. I'm just saying that as a general statement. You know, that's all you can control. You can't control anything else. You know, the plan that you have. You know, so today could be one of those days that I really don't trade much because I don't see anything here on LE that say, hey, you know, I'm going to be trading. We're approaching resistance, you know, going short here. Could be a possibility on LE as we are approaching this resistance here at 202. 202 definitely could be a resistance area. Next resistance is at 202. Point. Yeah, definitely. We're still short. As far as the trend on ES is still short here. We just, if you scalp something to the upside and make some money, that's definitely something you just gotta be grateful for, you know. But again, for me, the better place to short the YM here would be at the VWAP. Because right now, seeing a shift to the downside here on the NQ, on the ES, the shifting to the downside. We may see the same thing here on the NQ, about to be 10:30, which is when the initial balance is going to be formed. We'll have a better frame for the market. So right now, we're looking at this here. We're right in the middle, almost in the middle of the initial balance, which could be no man's land because you don't know if they're going to keep pushing higher toward the top or the bottom. So ideally, when 10:30 comes around, if you're at the bottom of the initial balance, you may see a fade to the upside. If you're at the top, you may see a fade to the downside. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised for them to try to move it higher here. Go to the VWAP around 73.75 you know, even 80 and turn it around to the downside. You know, remember right here, I say I'm not too eager to try to sell here. Now, if you sold here, you know, probably move to break even at least. Let me see, selling here would be 97. Yeah, close to break even. At least break even here. But here, looks like they want to push this higher here. Pushing higher on LE. Now, looking at LE, you know, I wanted a deeper pullback, which I never got. Here, again, LE's at a resistance. We could try to short it here, but that would be counter trend. That would be counter trend here. LE, everything is pointing to the upside, but let's look. If we get a negative bar here on the range chart, on the 10 range, I think we may try and short on LE here, or short on LE, maybe with one contract, because it's, again, it would be a counter trend trade. Getting some big buying here, but okay, we're pushing lower here on ES. 3 minutes until the initial balance form here. LE definitely looks like we may be looking to short it here. Let's see if we can sell it here. Obviously, our stop will be above the high. Let's see if we can go down here and get 40 ticks. 41. This is a pure speculative trade here on LE. So I only traded one contract because it's a counter trend trade. At 10 ticks, we will probably move to break even. 10 ticks would be, we're at 70. We sold at 75, so at 50 here. If it gets to 50, we'll move to break even. Just put a line to remind me what 50. Yeah, definitely, yes, it could be a nice place to short it, because this is definitely a pretty good resistance. On 924, you know, that was support. We're pushing down here on ES, and we're right at for ES, we're right at the RTH VWAP, the regular trading hours VWAP. I think this could be a nice push down. That could be the most we're gonna get here on say 28. Say 28 here could be, let's go to 27. Let's see if we can sell here. I'll sell the YM here, and our stop gonna be above here. I think we're close enough to the VWAP. Let's see if we don't make a negative bar here, we're gonna cancel this order. That early short was the fact that, hey, we overextended, we're at resistance. Let's see if we can go lower here. Yeah, we're gonna cancel this sell order here. So market's trying to push higher, but we definitely had resistance on ES. You know, down here was support. Now it's becoming resistance, and we had at the Globex VWAP, and also we're right around that RTH VWAP. This is like a bold short here. Let's see how that plays out. Let's see. 36. Try this again here. Maybe not. It's going higher. Now the VWAP is right around that round number. I'm gonna have the order in here just in case. We'll push quickly lower here. Stop would be above here. Or even would be willing to give it 10 more ticks. So having a 60 stop, 60 tick stop. I would probably have a 70 tick stop here. Above the VWAP. Or maybe, yeah, right above the VWAP. But if they're pushing higher here, we're not going to participate. If we get above 86 here, we're not going to participate here. All right, looking at LE here, we're still fighting here up here. You can see we're ranging here. We'll get past this low. So we'll cancel this order here. We don't want to play to the long side at the moment. Well, we got 4 more ticks here. We're going to be taken out. We got a 21 tick stop. Yeah, we got taken out. Again, there was very speculative stop entry, knowing this was a counter trend trade. Typically, I don't trade counter trend, but it looks like they may do to us what they usually do, what they sometimes do. I'm not gonna say usually do, but they go higher and tag you out to the tick, and then they may trying to bring it lower here. But again, that's we wanted to go short if he gets lower, but he never did. There you go. So we're getting some push here. So push down here at the VWAP let's see if we can sell it here. Can we come back because I wasn't paying attention to the buy entry would have been about 53, 50, you know. Let's see if we can we get to, let's go back to 58 here and get us in. to the short side. Thank you, Noah. Thanks for being here. Thank you for your support. All right, let's see if we can, again, if we go above the VWAP here, got a good 17 ticks between VWAP and, let's see if we can, like 1038. We're getting to the point where this market is approaching 11 o'clock. So far, they tagged me. I had the high of the day. So we're seeing it push lower here in the indices. Let's see if that's going to translate into YM. A big back and forth here. Yeah, I think this might be a loser here. Really, I can definitely get this 10 more ticks here because we already had a winner on. Hey, look at what Ellie's doing. Ellie tagged me out at the high of the day. Yeah, we're pushing higher here. Let's see if my stop will hold here or not. High on this was 17. Looks like it's going to be a loser here. If that's the case, we'll pack our toys and go home. Let's see. There you go. 20, 25, 22, 21, 19. Let's see. Almost got there. This was 27. If we survive this, there would be nothing short of a miracle. Yeah, got us out. Hey. So this market wants to go higher now. Yeah, I'm just looking at LE here, which is that can be very frustrating if we turn around, especially if we turn around all the way to the downside here. Again, ES is at the resistance level. Let me know how you doing out there. Are you still hip? Are you not in any position? Anything going on? Wonder if, again, here, this is one of those things that got you out for a couple ticks. Actually, it wasn't really a couple ticks, but nowadays, the way the market is volatile, 16 ticks is very, very little, on any instruments that's indices. So let's look at, this is soybeans on the top left here. Very slow moving market, but definitely can be profitable. When you took a like this, there's not much. Sometimes it definitely ranges. But on a day like today, looks like it was a pretty clear move to the upside here. Usually the market pause. Soybeans, I believe, open at about 8 o'clock at night. Yeah, 8 o'clock at night. And then pauses somewhere in the morning here before 9:30, and reopens at 9:30. So pauses between 8:30 and 9:30 for about an hour. So at 9:30 we see a push down. Then obviously above VWAP, everything looked like it wants to go higher. Entry right over here at 138. Again, it doesn't move as much as the other ones, but it's $12.50 per tick on ZS. So that's a market we may go back and watch again because we used to trade that. Looks like we're moving higher here on M. But again, I wouldn't be too quick to do that because the AGD, which is the advanced decline, is moving higher. So I wouldn't, resistance here. Could it be? Yeah. Ellie did. He's making a new high. I think here this market wants to go higher. Let's see, 35 would be my entry here. We're gonna try this one last entry. Win, lose or draw here, we're gonna be going away. Oh yeah, that is true too. But these markets they've been very, very different as far as there's no traditional rules don't apply to those markets at the moment. It feels like. I understand what you're saying. As far as as we're approaching 11 o'clock, typically the market wants to sell. But remember, this market was down from the morning, so I think we could see a little push higher here. Again, if we get taken in here, we'll look at the YM here. It is 10:50 on the East Coast. So another 10 minutes to 11. Same with VWAP serve as resistance over here. I think we'll probably see VWAP serving as support here. So let's see if that's going to be the case. Approaching our entry here. Obviously, this is going to be our last trade for the day. Timing is everything in trading here. Will we be? I don't think at this point it's a matter if the market's going to push higher. It's a matter of, are we at the right time for it to do so? And if we're at the right time here, that'd be great. If not, win, lose, or draw, we're going to pack our toys here. Not going too well here. LE now is pushing down here toward the VWAP. Yeah, we're just going to take the stop here if this happens. Wow, we got almost to the tick here. Almost to the tick. Low on this candle was 75 probably. It was 77. Yeah, low is 77. Our stop was 76. Yeah. Oh no, we might survive this. Let's see. Maybe, maybe not. I'm tempted to give it 10 more ticks. You know, at 66 maybe. Now, when you're trading micros, you have a little more leeway to give things a little more room. But look at this. The low on this candle was 75. My stop was my original stop was 76. So meaning I would have got taken out by one tick and then turn around here. Now, this is not a complete turnaround yet. I cannot claim, okay, this is a complete turnaround yet. But as we can see here, this market wants to push higher now. Looks like it wants to push higher at the moment. Like if we get to this, we're not going to let it get to the first target before we move to break even. If we can get to 83 here, like 30, 40 ticks, probably move to break even. Yeah, definitely. Those definitely the areas of short, you know. They're definitely resistance areas on the ES, between 75 and 80. But also remember this market opened lower, started to go lower. So here could be a place that people are buying to pushing it higher. It's 10:59. So quickly we're gonna know here what's gonna happen. It's 30 seconds to 11. Now you may ask, oh, why are you not at break even? Because yeah, he hasn't hit my break even criteria yet. You know, so you don't just move to break even just so because you're afraid of losing. And if you're afraid of losing in this market, you shouldn't be in it. Because losing is part of the deal. It's 11 o'clock. Let's see what happened here. If we're going to see a push higher or push lower. Obviously, we're in a long position. We would want to see a push higher. It's pushing higher here. Like I said, you know, if we can get, at least now we're going to reduce our position. You know, we're going to reduce our size here. Not size, but our stop. We can probably even move to break even here. 36, you know. Our entry was 36 here. We're going to move to break even. See if we can get to at least our first target, you know. Get to our first target here, that'd be nice, but we may not. Looks like we're pushing lower here. But at least we went from potentially losing 60 ticks to a break-even trade. In my book, this is 78, 75. Okay. To me, this is in my book. This last trade here, it's a winner. We definitely came really close to being taken out. Right now, it looks like we're gonna be taken out here at 36. We got to 37. We didn't get taken out, but to be taken out right now, right this second, we're out at break even. That's fine. You know, with that said, we're gonna end the stream. Yeah, we may go back up and go to the, because right now we low on this candle is 136. Yeah, to the tick. That was to the tick. Because the low on this candle is 36. See, as you can see, the low is 36 and my stop was at 36. Now we're 33, 30 plus point higher. So we're going to have days like today. I think, honestly, when I'm looking at the ES here, ES looks like it wants to go lower. So I'm not going to complain about this stop out. That could be a good one. I think this market may have some room to the downside here. Yeah. All right. We called that a tramper stop. Yeah, that was a tramper stop. That definitely was a tramper stop to the tick. All right, thank you again for your support. Thanks for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Please share with your friends. Share the screen with your friends if you that would be great to grow this community of traders. And we're gonna look and see what happened next. It looks like this market wants to go higher, but definitely very tentative here. All right, with that said, we're gonna go bye. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye. And one last thing. Next week, I will not be streaming. I'll be away on a little vacation. Next week, I will not be streaming at all. So tomorrow will be my last stream for the week because we have Easter. We have a Good Friday. So yeah, this Friday is Good Friday. So I will not be trading either. Because I think the market might be closed, if I'm not mistaken. If not, it's just going to be very, very, very choppy. Not a lot of volatility or any participation really. So with that said, have a good one. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.